Welcome everybody to the 45-minute or more practice. The practice. What is the practice? The practice is being in your real sovereign, like your sovereign self. What does that mean? I get that a lot. What does that mean? Meaning being very honest with yourself. I'm going to be honest with you. Today, my inner thighs need not to do a lot of stuff. So today's 45-minute practice will probably be, I don't know. Honestly, that's how I flow. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, that's awesome. That's also awesome because we are all individuals. I just like to share my practice, and that's why I have this platform for you, and maybe something works for you. So today, not a lot of inner thigh stuff going on, or maybe something that will make it feel better. Not sure. It's going to be a goulash class today. So let's get started. Know that when you do come to your yoga mat, you do want to have a blanket, a bolster, a mat, blocks, maybe a puppy. So let's get started with the breath practice first. Most important piece, especially during the biggest universal transformation, and all my friends from, England, Thailand, India, and Sri Lanka, they're all saying the same thing. Grounding. Grounding the self and not forgetting that to lose sight of what it is that is in your integral gut, what you really feel is your truth. So second guessing yourself has been going on a lot. Well, maybe I do need to follow everybody else. Maybe I better do this because I don't feel like I'm being supported and I feel like I'm alone and I'm tired and I'm exhausted and I'm angry now and I don't want to be angry. Take a deep breath in, and that's where we come back to the breath. Don't doubt yourself or doubt your doubts. Doubt your doubts. Never doubt this intuition, this gut. There's this sensory connection to universe, and if we let go of all the drama, like literally let go of all the drama, and welcome. This is the platform for yes, yoga, and yoga is 1% theory and 99% practice. So the theory is this. We need to externally rotate the upper arms, internally rotate the inner thighs, but the practice is this. How do we apply these things? And the theory is like love and kindness, but how do we practice these? Okay, know yourself, know thyself, and not in excess, meaning becoming righteous. Take as much time as you need to chillax, to be in your personal space so you can sort through perhaps some of the knee-jerk reactions or the reactions that perhaps were present in your day. No shaming yourself. Instead, love yourself and say, aha, that's where the work is. That's where my personal work is. The other day I got triggered because someone accused me of being so superhuman that I was the cause of some of their, unfortunate stuff. And I'm like thinking, wow, I'm pretty superwoman if I could do that. It's like, what? So that's one of my triggers, because even as a kid, I would get blamed for a lot of things because I didn't have a voice. And so I'd always get the blunt end of that blame. And today, I have a voice now. I have to really be kind in how I respond to people, because sometimes I can get really feisty and react. So that's where my work is still. It's been a lifelong path of working on what is just enough. So today's practice physically, that's what we're going to feel. What are you feeling in your body? So let's begin with that big belly breath. Literally fill your lungs to their fullest capacity, in, out, side, up and around. You can move your arms around. Feel the breath right from the tip of your nose to the very back of the sinuses, up to the upper palate, to the back of the throat, all the way down your larynx, your esophagus, all the way into the capillaries, your heart, your lungs. Yeah. Right into the fullness of your lungs that presses the diaphragm down and then massages your major organs. And then guess what happens? Poop and pee. We cleanse and clear. So everything has its process. So the more we're able to breathe fully, especially when we're holding on to anxiety, that will get stuck inside of your body, literally, and cause dis-ease. So pay attention to the fullness of your breath. Get right into a breath practice that really resonates with you. Maybe it's 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day in this practice where you're just stopping and going, oh, yeah. So you're feeling that breath, that prana, that vital force riding on the oxygen all the way into the fullness of your body, animating or realigning your body with new energy, and then composting and pressing out any excessive carbon dioxide and stale oxygen. That's what it does. It's amazing. Everyone breathes, yes, otherwise we'd be dead, literally. Yet, are we healthfully breathing? Are we stuck up here in anxiety causing many diseases in our body? I would say yes to that one. So the first thing is breathe healthfully. So throughout this whole practice, just breathing, like literally pay attention to your breath. Even if you get lost in a asana, come back to the breath, come back to the breath. So the big piece is counting your breath, because that gives your mind something to do. Otherwise, ego wants to take your mind. So count your breath from 1 to 10, 1 being the in-breath, exhale, 2 being the exhalation, 3rd, inhale, exhale 4, inhale 5, exhale 6, inhale 7, exhale 8, just like that, all the way to 10, and then start all over again. You do not have to match my frequency, my vibrational frequency, or what it is that I'm doing. And as I breathe, you do you. Once you get a gist of what we're doing, practice in your sovereignty and do what you need to do, okay? Okay, 3 big breaths in, just really taking them in at your own pace. And then eventually bringing your hands into your heart center. And we'll begin today's practice with a beautiful sound of Om. Taking a clearing breath in and out first. Big breath in. Delightfully blinking your eyes open, and let's get this party started. I would love to start us laying down in a prone position on the belly for many reasons. And yoga has morphed most beautifully from what we once knew in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s as a more therapeutic approach to life is yoga and yoga is life. It took us a long time, but yeah, it's been the yoga philosophy for more than what we can imagine. And yet, you know, we humans like to claim something, so we need to have a date on it. It's just forever in our universe. So the physical part of it has morphed and changed due to our needs. So today, coming onto the belly, if you need a blanket across your pubis, please have that there. Bend your knees and stack your hands underneath your forehead. Thank you, Tyson. So that you can breathe. So your forehead has hands stacked, so your nose can breathe, that is. Oh, can I get in here, please? And then windshield wiping your legs, feeling what you're feeling. And this moves your pelvis. It wobbles it back and forth. Just checking in with it. Slowing everything down. Remember, this is yoga for recovery. And then on your next in and out breath, I'm just going to offer up that you lift your face up off your hands, reach your right arm out perpendicular to the shoulder joint, bring your left arm at a right angle, keep your knees bent, and roll to your right shoulder, moving any props out of the way. And then allow that your heart opens up. The really important piece to this is rooting down through the right index finger and the thumb like a lobster claw. Bend the left elbow closer in towards you so you can lift your chest more perpendicular to the floor, meaning stacking your shoulders. Bend and extend through the left leg and allow it to be very subtle. And if you're feeling a little bit more acrobatic than I am today, it's just those inner thigh muscles are really needing my love and support. And maybe moving the left arm around. And I use the word maybe because it's not for everyone. So you do you. I see in class a lot of us are leaning forward because the anterior shoulder is not quite open yet, and that's okay. That's where you're at. So let your chest come more forward, but lift your head up off the floor and move your neck around, move your face around. Wherever you may be, make sure that right index knuckle is still down and you're bending and extending through that left leg. Oh yeah, there it spreading your toes, rotating your ankle. Good. And then reassessing that left arm down if you have the left arm up. Turn your face to look more towards the sky and just kind of play with that left knee, bellowing it towards the right, up and down slowly. Make it so that it's more methodical with your breath. Make it so that it's more you, okay? And then on your next in and out breath, we're gonna squeeze the knees together, slowly come onto your tummy, plantar flex your feet, meaning smooth them out. And a lot of these terms, the more you practice, the more you'll hear them and you'll know what they are. Plantar flexion means flattening your feet like a ballerina onto the mat, and then taking your forearms into a sphinx position. You guys all know what a sphinx is, right? Bringing your elbows in, and if you don't, that's okay. Bring your palms more parallel, and then lengthen the tailbone towards your heels, pressing the pubis into the floor, and knit the belly button in and extend through the crown of the head so you look towards your thumbs. Breathe into this space, and as much as this is like, I don't want to work my inner thighs today, this actually lengthens them. So it's more of a reprieve for my inner thighs. Grip the mat with your hands, and then see if you could just hover the elbows up today by contracting your quads, pressing your feet down, knit the belly, lengthen the tailbone, and maybe you'll go more into flexion of the spine, or extension, I should say. So it's just a little lift. It's a little bit of a broadening in the shoulders. We're contracting a lot of good muscles here. And then exhale, splay your elbows outwardly, bend your knees, and you can stack your hands and put your cheek on your hands and breathe mindfully in this position. Close your eyes as often as you can in the practice to give yourself that I love you, I'm here, I'm present. No fighting or running from any situation. Rotate your ankles, spread your toes, and when you're ready, let's release the legs back down. Left arm at a perpendicular position, slightly below the shoulder. Right arm at a right angle, bend both knees again, and then slowly slide out onto the left shoulder. Reassess your right arm. I removed the bird's eye view today, so I hope that's okay. A lot of you haven't said you missed it or wanted it, so again, reassess that right hand at a right angle. Bend and extend and playfully move if you feel an urgency to do that, or keep that right foot static, pressed onto the left foot. Close your eyes and move your face around. Some of you may be able to reach the right arm up, maybe even massage your hip. Make sure the left hand base knuckle, the index finger and the thumb are creating like a lobster claw. So your hand's like a suction cup on the floor. Think of yourself as hugging from the periphery into the midline. Knit the belly button in. Lengthen your neck. Breathe your breath. Play as you wish. So remember, slowing down is key for recovery. Not running off into la la land. Be here now in your physical body and notice the sensations that you're feeling. Move your neck around if you can, feeling what that feels like to move it around. And then when you're ready to release, and maybe butterfly that right leg as you release the right hand if you had it up, and then eventually extending the legs and coming back down onto the belly, bringing your forearms back out in front of you. I've got a little background chant music going on, and a little Todd Norian, a little chakra chanting, so you might hear om, yam, ram, hum, yeah. So grab the mat and extend through the crown of the head. So you see, I'm not looking up towards the ceiling and making my eyeballs look funny. In other words, look beyond my drishte, my tip of my nose. I'm looking right at my thumbs, so my neck is neutral. This is extension of the neck. This is flexion of the neck, looking at my boobies. When I look at my thumbs, it is neutral. That's really important. Press into the tops of your feet, contract your quads so the knees lift, and then isometrically drag your hands towards your hips, knit the belly button in, and then maybe hover the elbows up. So what this is doing is creating more extension in the lower back. So it's contracting those muscles and the extension in the front body. So you're feeling this, this lift. Keep your head in that neutral position for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then lower the elbows, splay your elbows out, bend your knees, stack your other cheek, and do a little windshield wipe. Breathe your breath. Yeah. Good, rotate your ankles, and then when you're ready, let's curl those toes down, always playing with your toes. Toes are really important. Slide your hands to your lowest ribs, find out where they are, in extension of the wrist. Lengthen the neck, curl the toes deep into the mat. This is a big one, so you're gonna press the floor away with your hands, knees, and toes. So lift your pubis, keep your neck neutral, looking straight at the floor, and with all of your strength, press the floor with your hands and press into your knees and your toes. Voila, you're in tabletop. I'm going to reassess my hands as wide as my mat. Take my knees underneath my hips, curl those toes under, and then start to move in your cat-cow. So remember, nothing is happening to you. You are creating the happening. You are responding, you're reacting, you're moving, you're choosing. You are the free will creator and decider. Start to move back and forth in your cat-cow in any fashion that you feel is necessary for you to feel alive. Move and groove your spine sideways, up and down. Yeah, just like that. Good. And then from here, let's just still it. Knit that belly button in to the back of the spine. Keep your neck neutral and then hover your knees up off the floor for 5. Press the floor away with the base knuckle of your index finger and thumb for 4. Create that suction cup with the hands for 3. Keep your neck neutral for 2. On your toes for 1. And then slowly lower the knees. Keep your right toes anchored into the mat and extend the left leg straight back. Go through the toes. Rev up through the toes, notice that energy, and then cross that left leg all the way over towards the right. Knit the belly button in once again, pressing the floor away with your hands and hover the right knee up off the mat, then start to adjust your hips up towards the sky. So you could rearrange your feet so that you could bend your knees, blossom your bum, and move your chest towards your thighs. If your shoulders need to be above your wrists, please keep them there. Let your head hang and move your hips from side to side. Breathe that breath in and out. So this is an inversion, upside down. It's a handstand. So a lot of you do get uncomfortable and you feel dizzy. The more you practice, of course, you'll learn to curb that breath and match the breath with what you're doing. So again, when we begin something new, it's like that beginner's mind. It takes effort. So keep on practicing. So you're lifting your hips, you're moving your chest, you're swaying those hips from side to side. Your arms are in full flexion. Again, you can bring your shoulders more forward so they're not so much in flexion. And then on your next in and out breath, bring your shoulders back over your wrists and then lower the right knee and extend the left leg straight back. And then bend that left knee up and out and bring it up as high as you can into your armpit. Flex that left foot, spread your left toes, rotate that foot. So there's a little bit of a distraction being here now. Breathe that breath. A couple more breaths here, play with it, lifting the knee even higher, bringing it up into your armpit as much as you can. And then exhale, release that left knee and sit back onto your shins. Big breath in, letting go, breath out. Slowing down, being here now. The best thing we could do for ourselves is nourish those muscles. I find that a lot of my friends, I love them so much, yet every year they do something for about 3 months, to get into shape, push and shove themselves into those shapes and those routines, and then they start all over again. Life is yoga, yoga's life. It's not about doing something for a month or 2 to get fit. No judgments there. It's about living it fully every day. Extend your right leg straight back. Feel that energy. Feel that energy. Then cross that right leg over towards the left. Feel the security of your hands and lift that left knee up off the mat. Just feeling that energy. Then start to lift your hips up. Fully extend your arms. Reassess your feet. So it's like your legs, you have to go pee-pee. So you squeeze your legs together, blossom your bum, meaning bend your knees to get your butt, so your sitting bones way up there. Again, full flexion of your arms. Can you move your chest towards your thighs? Breathe your breath. When I say breathe your breath is, where are you in your breath apparatus? Are you able to breathe fully into the fullness of the lungs? So as long as you're getting a little bit more and more acknowledgement of where your breath is, like am I shallow breathing? And no judgments, am I fully breathing? Observations called discernment. Good, so playing in your modified down dog, swaying your hips, bending your knees, lifting your heels, blossoming your bum, moving your shoulders forward and back. Feel that arrangement. Good. And then on your next in and out breath, let's slowly bring the shoulders over wrists, lower, so you're bending that left knee. Take your right leg straight back, bend your right knee and lift it up into your armpit for 5. Keep your neck neutral for 4, for 3, 2, and then release that right shin, sit back onto your knee, your shin. And then this is for Cheryl, because she loves this one so much. If you need a blanket for your knees all the way to your toes, lay it out. You're gonna rise up onto your shins. Thank you, Cheryl. We love this one. So this is really strengthening for the inner thighs for me. This is something I do need to do today. Lengthen your tailbone down. Your feet become like a pyramid. So your big toes are touching, but your knees are wide as your shoulders, not as wide as your mat. So the idea is to lean back, to contract those quads in their eccentric form, their fullest length, and then press into your shins, and that contracts them more. So it is a quad muscle, front leg muscle connection, yet you're pressing into your shins. Keep your neck neutral, your abdominals are tucked in there, so your lower back is neutral. And do at least 5 or 6 to 10 of these at your own pace. So I like to exhale back and inhale up. You do you. Some of you like to inhale back and exhale up, as long as there's a breath. Okay, so feeling what you're feeling. Oh yeah, that's it, just like that. Like I said, today's a goulash day of everything. And how far back you go, as long as you're not throwing your head back and popping your hips forward, you want to keep this all neutral, right? And there's no competition. Exhale your bum to your heels. Bring your knees to touch down with your hands as wide as your mat, walk your knees back, tabletop. From your tabletop, hover your knees up off the mat for 5, keep your neck neutral for 4, 3, 2, lift your hips up, skyward, downward facing dog, bend your knees, lift your heels, pedal your feet, feeling the gaps, excuse me, the gastrocnemius, the soleus, feel those energies. Downward dog a day keeps the doctors away. If your arms are able to fully flex, great. If not, bring your shoulders forward. Let your head go for 5 more breaths. You can swing your hips from side to side. You do you. Feeling what you're feeling. Being kind to yourself. Fantastic. Actually, let's do that. Everyone take your feet as wide as your yoga mat. I remember this top is not for me. From here, lift your heels and blossom your bum. Take your right arm out perpendicular to the shoulder joint. Thread it underneath towards the left side. So right arm underneath. Grab a hold of your heels. So bend your knees, get right in there. Usually a beginner is not able to fully grasp and get there. Yet, the more you kind of get to know your body and you can bend everything, you can get there and then cat your back out and hug your left tricep towards your face. Yes, your face will get all red while you're in this position. Lean your hips towards the right. Yes, towards the right for 5. Cat your back out for 4. Press the floor away with the left index finger for 3, 2. Release the right hand and immediately take the left arm out. Your shoulder will love you. Bend the knees, lift the heels, sweep the left arm underneath, grab the right heel. When I say cat your back out, you're separating your shoulder blades and you're also hugging your right tricep in towards your face as you let your head hang underneath that right armpit and then leaning towards the left hip. So as you lean towards the left hip, you'll see my ribs are opening up on the back body between my shoulder blades. You're expanding the back into flexion. You're extending, the back body. In other words, the front body's flexing. If those terms get you all confused, just think cat that. When you're ready to release that right hand, slowly bring your knees to the floor. Big toes come to touch. Sit back on your shins. Fix your yoga wear. Take a deep breath in into the fullness of your belly and let it go. Good. Come back into your tabletop. Walk your knees further back this time than in tabletop, a regular tabletop. Lift your feet up off the floor. Start to move back and forth through your wrists. Turn your elbow creases to face forward. And then let's play with the elbows and shoulders and hips. So you bend your elbows back as you lean your heart forward. So your heart's moving forward. Your elbows are moving towards your hips. Lower your pubis. Flatten your feet. Extend through the crown of the head. Reach your arms straight back. Press into the tops of your feet like you're a superhero. Rework your legs together. Pressing the tops of your feet into the mat. Roll your shoulders back and spread your fingers like a superhero. Breathe your breath. Keep on igniting the shoulder blades towards each other on the spine by using the muscle energy there. Spread those fingers. Beautiful for 5. Lengthen the tailbone for 4, 3, 2, And then land your hands at your lowest ribs, curl the toes under, knees, hands, and press the floor away as you lift your bum back. Plant or flex your feet, sit on your shins, take another deep breath in. Practicing mindfulness of movement, guaranteed you won't injure yourself because you're present. Okay, so no pushing or shoving, keep on practicing and go slow. Tabletop, knees further back, feet lifted. Play with the elbows, the shoulders, the wrists, and the hips. So you're slowly moving your chest forward as you plant your pubis, plant the tops of your feet, plantar flexion, arms reach back, squeeze your legs together, reach back through the fingertips like rocket fuel, look at the mat. For 5, really roll those shoulders back, keep your neck neutral. For 4, you feel the contraction in your back. For 3, lengthen the tailbone, press into your feet. For 2, and then land your hands, lowest ribs, knees, hands, toes, press the mat away, plant or flex your seat, sit back, big breath in, letting go, breath out. It does get easier. Again, beginners, lots of effort. Once you practice, it becomes effortless. And I know a lot of you will contest to that, say yes to that. Once again, follow it through, go slow. What are you doing? Pay attention to what it is that you're learning about yourself. Can you listen to your body? Feel your Salambhasana. Squeeze those legs, plant or flex your feet, contract your quads, lengthen the tailbone, lengthen through the crown of the head. Yeah. Whoo-wee. And then when you're ready, find that strength. So I see a lot of people dropping the shoulders and winging the elbows out. Hug everything into the midline. Think strong, lift your pubis and press the floor away. Plant or flex your feet. If you've already done this a couple of times while I was speaking, keep on going, at least 10 of these. That's the practice today, really going strong. Don't think 10. Don't think I'm doing the number 10. Think, what am I feeling as I'm moving through this? So don't even worry about counting how many you've done. Once again, use your breath. You're at your own will right now. Finding that Salambhasana for at least 5 counts. Go from the feet, contract the quads, lengthen the tailbone, knit the belly, side body long, neck is long. Feel what you're feeling. Don't let your ego, sorry, no saying that because then all of a sudden your ego starts thinking. Move with grace and ease at your own pace. Learn to be in your own sovereign self. Every time you come up to sit on your shins, breathe a big breath and then go right back into it. Imagine that. Set yourself up for success. Exhaling. Keep those shoulders lifted. So you want to stay in that cobra-like position so you're not dumping your shoulders or your head. You're feeling this whole back body contract. You're feeling that opening of your heart. You're feeling what you're feeling and you're using your breath to count, right? So in breath 1, out breath 2, in breath 3. Got it? Figure out where you need to really put your attention and keep on moving through this. Love this practice. About 2 more right now. Wherever you are, if you've done 20, I do offer that perhaps you may pay more attention to not shrugging your shoulders and slow it so far down that you feel like you're in molasses, and that'll get the muscles more juiced up. Trust me, less is more in all ways except for more love. Okay? More love is awesome. Breathe that breath. Notice what you notice. We're not in a hurry. You got it. Connection. Make sure that pubis lifts right up off the mat. One more for everybody, wherever you're at. If you're needing to take a break and not do any more, please listen to your vessel. Make sure those shoulders stay broad. If you're resting, maybe in a child's pose or in your virasana. That's seated on your shins. Good stuff. Fantastical. Give yourself permission. In the end, whether it's child's pose or virasana, I'm just going to sit up a little bit more in the middle of the mat and breathe that breath. And then rising up onto your shins. And yes, we're going to do one more of those. Yipper. So really pressing down into your plantar flex feet. I do see a lot of people with their ankles like that. So if that's the case, then you do need to have, perhaps at this time, and don't be afraid to email me your concerns. A lot of people are not giving me that heads up with their emails. Please don't be shy. So make sure that there is a support underneath your ankles if you need it, preferably something really tidy. And for those that are already doing this posture, please continue to work on your posture. So the support of the blanket is there for your big toes are touching and you're leaning back. Make sure you don't use the crutch of the support for too long. Eventually make it a thinner blanket until maybe in this lifetime your shins are fully expressed through the dorsiflexion. A couple more rounds, moving back. Feeling those quads, the front of your legs really contracting, and that also contracts those inner thigh muscles. Yeah, because that's what I need to do is strengthen them today. And then sitting back on your heels, allow your hips to swing to the side and take your legs out in front of you. We're going to do some groundwork. Move your bum towards the front of your mat, hug your knees into your chest, but make sure you at least have a blanket handy. Or if you have one of those spongy blocks, please have that spongy block handy, the rubber ones. I'm going to fold my blanket so it's like a shoebox. And then after you hug your knees into your chest, you can just let it rest there. Open up those arms, make sure there's nothing in your roadmap. The palms can be down or up, they're below the shoulders. Let's play with taking that blanket or that shoebox of a block onto your right foot. Some of you do not have flexibility yet to put anything on your foot, just use your imagination. Bend that, did I say left knee? Yeah, left knee. In towards your chest, release the right foot onto the floor, then extend your left leg towards the sky. This time we're going to take your arms straight up towards the sky, just like that. Keep your dorsiflexed foot. And then from here, extend your right leg straight down onto the floor to your best ability. And this is where we're going to play. Flex your neck so the belly button gets crunched, the tone of the belly. Such words, Teresa. And then start to move your supported dorsiflexed foot towards the right foot as you lift and peel your shoulder blades up off the floor, reaching your arms towards that left ankle for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and then release the head and shoulders. Keep this left leg bent. If you need to reshape your right leg, it doesn't feel good going straight. Mine doesn't feel good going straight too. So I'm going to keep my right knee back because we're going to play this again. So once again, arms straight up like monster arms. Flex your neck so you're looking towards your pubis. Look towards your pubis. Then from there, start to angle your left leg towards the front of your mat where your right foot would be as you peel your shoulders up for 5. Keep your neck flexed for 4, for 3, for 2, shoulders down, head down. Bend your left knee into your chest. Got it? So yes, it's abdominal work, it's leg work as well. If you want to straighten your right leg, please do so. That's where I'm overextended. So I'm going to keep my right foot bent, still active, right foot on the floor. Arms, left leg, ready? Flex neck, angle as much as you can. I can angle my left leg further down towards the floor while I keep my neck in flexion and toe my belly for 5, for 4. I'm looking at my pubis for 3. Lifting my shoulder blades up for 2, and then bring it all in. Shazam. One more. Okay, ready? Take that breath. Set yourself up for success. When you're ready, find that shape. So it's a lot of flexion going on in the abdominals. Make sure that neck is tilted in. A lot of you do have issues with your neck, so you got to form that strengthening in the neck by practicing it. For 5, for 4, belly's tucked in for 3, chin's tucked in for 2, and then rise up. And you'll notice that dorsiflexion of that foot stays the whole time. Good. Take that blanket off or the block off. Hug both knees into your chest. Rock from hip to hip. Let's just give our neck a little isometric stretch. Interlace your fingers behind the back of your skull, the occipital. Bring your elbows towards your eyebrows and lift your head up off the mat. But press your shoulder blades into the mat. And you can release the feet to the floor. So you're just isometrically resisting your head against your hands and lifting your head up. So it's just that work there. Feel the neck stretch. Feel the breath. Good. When you're ready, release the head, release the arms, Take your block or your blanket, bend the right knee, right foot. So again, if you're using your imagination, dorsiflexion is where your foot is flexed towards your kneecap. I'm using a blanket today as a substitute, even though I have the spongy blocks, the purple blocks, just because I know some of you may use the excuse it doesn't work. It does work. Blankets can be folded on your foot, even a throw pillow. Keep your foot in dorsiflexion. When you're ready, oh yeah, here it goes. Reach your arms straight up towards the sky. You can extend the left heel, straight leg to the mat. Knit the belly button in, flex your neck, and start to navigate that right leg towards the left foot as you crunch. So the neck always stays in that flexed position, and you're only going as far as you can feel the tone of your belly, and lifting your shoulders for 4, for 3, for 2, and then release. I'm gonna bend my left knee because it's really affecting my inner right thigh. Send me an email if you have issues, okay? So let's do this again. Arms, flex neck, start to navigate your right leg towards the front of your mat as you flex up using your abdominals for 5. You're looking straight at your pubis to keep that neck in flexion for 4, for 3, for 2, and then hug that knee in. Well done. I know a lot of you would not do this on your own, so that's why we're doing it together. Let's go for it again. Big breath in and out. When you're ready, set that neck up into the flexion, look towards your pubis and start to navigate your right leg forward towards the front of your mat. As you lift your shoulders, make sure your hands are actively drawn back into the back of your shoulder blades for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and then bring it in. I think one more is due, right? So if your leg is getting shaky, and let's practice, take a breather. And let's do the last one, okay? So you can always pause this. Hopefully you have this on the big screen TV, a smart TV, because you can always just pause it. Practicing on a little screen, I don't know. I personally would not do it. I personally don't do anything on TV through Zoom or any website because I don't like online screen time, but I do it for you guys. So flex, tone that belly button. Oh my goodness. For 5, for 4, 3, 2, hug that knee in. Oh, that feels good. Hug both knees in. Rock from hip to hip. Oh, there you go. So let's play with that too as well. Getting back into the abdominals for the kind of getting towards the end of our practice. Remember, less is more. Hug both knees into your chest. Open your arms up. Breathe that breath. Flex and rotate your ankles. Spread your toes. And just FYI, I love to share. I am truth. Don't put me on a pedestal, please. I am in my sovereignty, and I love creating space and holding space for people. This platform is space for you, as well as my in-studio. Yeah, I'm an individual that does things my way, so you do your way too. Hug your knees towards your chest. Palms could be down or up. Let's find that breath. Connect with your breath. Connect with your tailbone, lifting it up, and feel the flexion of your abdominals. And then exhale your knees to a side, not all the way, so you're in control of both shoulders being down. Then in breath, your knees up to center. And then exhale your knees when you're ready to exhale to the other side. I personally do not like how this feels on my hips. So for me, I love my blankie. I love my blankie. So it adds a little bit more cushion. So keep on going at your own pace. The exhalation to one side. Oh, inhale, really tone in. Internal, external obliques are kicking in, your transverse abdominals. The exhale, only go as far as you maintain the opposing shoulder. Remember, this is important stuff. If you've gone too far where the shoulder lifts up, you've gone too far. Simple as that. A lot of us have been taught in life that, to push ourselves and not to listen to the physical body. And that's why so many pharma companies are, so wealthy, because they numb people from what is really, the symptoms of listening to what your body is asking you to do. Means stop and love yourself. So let's get more herbal into our body, get real, listen, pay attention, love yourself.
You don't want to end up in the hospital with some sort of knee, hip, shoulder injury based on not paying attention to what your body said to you before it even got to that place. That's just me sharing with you. Keep on going. This is all internal, external obliques. Take your time, no rushing it. You really want to feel those muscles. How about one more on each side? So I started on the right, I'm going to end on the left. So I've got one more on each side, using the breath in and out through the nose or the mouth. Beautiful. And then releasing the feet to the floor. Take your hands down by your side. Find your middle finger right at the back of your heel. Tuck your arms underneath. Press your palms down into the mat, lengthen the back of your neck, and then start to float your hips up. Reassess your shoulder blades closer together, and then lengthen your tailbone towards your knees. So this is what we're going to do. So find this arrangement first so your middle finger grazes the back of the heels. Keep your hips up, and then press your shoulders down into the mat. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Keep those hips up. And what we're going to do is reach those arms overhead so the palms are facing up towards the sky. And this will be our in-breath. So in-breath, lift your hips up, reach through the middle fingers. Exhale, release the bum and the arms down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Go at your own pace. Take your time. Find your rhythmic pattern. Keep your inner thighs squeezing towards each other, keeping your feet and your knees equally divided. Some of you may prefer to have a block between your feet and a block between your inner thighs. That is a great way to do this practice, to keep those muscles active. Chin is pretty perpendicular to the floor. Make sure it's not jetting back behind you. And yes, the arms have a little bit more, a longer way to go, but you can make it work. Just a couple more. I'm going to bring this in closer. There we go. One more big inhale up. Lovely. And then from here to finalize, to end this practice, I'm just going to suggest that we take the block or a bolster underneath your sacrum, underneath your butt valley, and then extend your legs nice and long. And then open up your arms. And for these last few moments, if this is too much of a back bend, it really does not serve you to do this right now, then bend your knees and slide a bolster underneath your thighs to end our practice in a Supta Baddha Konasana or straight legs. So you choose what you wish to do. I'm feeling the back bend for myself, so I'm just going to reuse that bolster that's right there. Oh, that feels so good. So again, playing the role of getting to know yourself and what you need to do. Arms below shoulders at all times when we end a practice so that your neck quells. And breathe that breath. So coming back to your belly breath once you've established the position you want to end your practice in. So again, the visual is this. Close your eyes, look towards the mind's eye. When you in-breath through the tip of your nose, you feel the back of the sinuses, the roof of your mouth, the back of the throat, the esophagus, right? The larynx, all the way down into the heart and lungs. Lungs first, then heart, all the way into the diaphragm, into the massaging of your major organs. Yeah, and when you contract your abdominal muscles, right, that encompass your major organs, pressing the diaphragm up, all the way back out, backwards. You feel the breath, the whole formation of the breath, in and out. Follow it with your mind's eye. Follow it with your mind's eye. Yeah. If you're in the back bend that I'm in, bend your knees, feet flat on the mat, as wide as your mat. Let your knees fall in and continue your belly breathing. These are always a suggestion, an invitation. See in your mind's eye just the beauty, the clarity, the light, the smile, even if it's a fake smile on your lips. May you choose the light. May you turn on the light in the dark, shadowy bits that we all have. May we all respond and choose to respond over reaction. And if we're reacting, to hold ourselves with such love, to see the work, the lesson that is in the reaction, that is in our personal control. You are the reactor, you are the responder, you are the decider, you are the creator, you are the light. It is your journey, nobody else's. Yet you may affect those around you by your light or the dimness of it. Let us be the light. Remember that. Good. When you're ready, you're going to bend those knees towards your heart center with such love. And then give yourself a little roll all the way off your prop and up into your seat. Oh, you could probably do that one a lot longer. Again, less is more. Find the root of your bum on your mat. Give yourself a little cross-legged seated or any position of seat that works for you today. Take a deep breath in, reset that button. Open up those beautiful arms and say yes to your life. Say yes to being responsive. Saying yes to being in the creation of your life. You were chosen and you said yes to be chosen to be here. So let us live our lives with such lightness. Bring your hands into lotus, thumbs and pinkies touching. Thumbs at the heart. This is an offering. I am offering the seeds of my lotus as well as I am receiving the light of the universe into my lotus so I may bloom. Let us end this practice with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May you feel the genuine smile upon your lips just really start to happen as you move through the day with a smile. From my light to your light. Until next time, I'll see you in the next episodes. I hope you enjoyed that goulash of a practice. My inner hips are happy and thankful. Thank you.